Good evening and welcome to TV 16 News live at 5. Today is Wednesday, March 17th. I'm Sarah Chabon.
And I'm Joshua Cole Little. Coming up, a teenager faces murder charges for the death of a Salvation Army major. And a man is arrested in connection with a murder that took place nearly 2 years ago. We'll have all that and more coming up, but first, let's take a look at weather with Zach Green. Zach?
Well, we started out sunny today, but then the clouds came in, and that's what we'll expect for your evening commute. Mostly cloudy skies with temperatures right around 50. We'll have more later in the newscast with your full forecast. TV 16 News starts right now.
A teenager arrested in connection with the death of a Salvation Army major faces capital murder charges. North Little Rock police took the 19-year-old boy into custody yesterday. Authorities say robbery was the motive that led to Major Philip Wise's death. Wise was gunned down in front of his 3 young children outside the Salvation Army's community center last Christmas Eve when he went to drop off final donations. Police say 2 men confronted Wise, but only 1 arrest has been made so far. The teenager has been a suspect since early on in the investigation. Authorities have not released many details about the investigation. Wise worked in the community of Bering Cross for 3 years running youth programs, the food pantry, and church services.
And a Sherwood man is in jail tonight as well in connection with a homicide that took place in North Little Rock nearly 2 years ago. Chris Anthony Thomas faces charges of capital murder and aggravated robbery for the 2007 death of 26-year-old Larry Jones Jr. Authorities took Thomas into custody this morning for questioning. Police say home robbery was the initial crime that led to Jones's death. Details about the timing of the arrest are unclear and the investigation is ongoing.
And an Arkansas woman who was charged last year for drowning her 3 children has pleaded guilty today. Amber Turley formally admitted driving into Brewer Lake, leaving her children to drown. Family members say Turley has been at a party drinking before the accident. The mother responsible for the deaths of her 3 sons will serve 2 years in prison.
A recent study evaluating the recession's effect on metropolitan areas shows Little Rock is holding steady. The study done by the Brookings Institution compares 100 cities' unemployment rates. According to the study, Little Rock has the 8th lowest unemployment rate for the 4th quarter of 2009 at 6.5%. The average unemployment rate for the United States was 9.7%.
And on Harding University's campus, students are coming together to end world hunger with the help of MANNA. This organization develops and provides solutions to address the root causes of malnutrition and its devastating effects. A 6-week supply of this power booster helps malnourished children in many ways. To find out more about MANNA, go to www.malnutrition.org.
Tickets are now on sale for The Importance of Being Earnest, presented by Harding University's Theater Department. Set in proper aristocratic society of the 1880s, a time when appearances were everything and ironically nothing in the end. The play highlights the whimsical and imperfect nature of being in love. The play takes place April 1st through the 3rd and again April 8th through the 10th in the Ulrey Performing Arts Center. Tickets are available at the door or online at www.hardingtickets.com.
And if you're looking for some local family fun this weekend, Little Rock will be hosting its 2nd annual Barbecue Championship. The event is attracting top barbecue teams from across the world who will compete for $100,000 in prize money. The cook-off will take place Friday and Saturday at North Little Rock's Riverside RV Park. Along with hot air balloon rides, a carnival, and a classic car and motorcycle show, kids can participate in the Easy Grill Kids Q Junior Championship. Live music will kick off the event Friday night at 6 o'clock, and a full day of activities will begin on Saturday at noon. To find out more about this weekend's event, visit www.smokeonthewaterdbarbecue.com.
And coming up after the break, see how New York celebrated St. Patrick's Day.
And a new Senate bill could create more jobs. Stay with us.
What's that? I don't know. Something I kind of made. Ooh, what's it do?
What do I do? Well, thanks for asking. I ring my bell and I like to dance. What do I do? Well, thanks for asking.
Ow! Yeah, it still needs a little work.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
This financial advisor is being accused of committing one of the largest investment frauds in the history of the United States.
I guess we're not going to Aspen. That's fine. You see, I like tennis balls. He likes insider trading. So he's going to jail and I'm going to a shelter. And no, they're not the same thing. Shelters are for good pets that want to be adopted. Jails are for criminals. I've done nothing. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay, I stole a cheeseburger once. I'm a dog.
A sea of green flowed through New York City today as residents celebrated St. Patrick's Day. About 250,000 marchers headed up Fifth Avenue, taking part in the world's oldest St. Patrick's Day parade. There were bagpipes, marching bands, and politicians. The 249th St. Patrick's Day extravaganza will be the last of its kind in the Big Apple. Now, restrictions going into effect April 1st, requiring all parades be shorter in order to save money. The St. Patrick's Day parade now runs more than 2 miles and lasts more than 2 hours.
And a new bill passed by the Senate today may help the unemployment rate. President Barack Obama supports the bipartisan bill and says he will sign it when it reaches his desk. The bill exempts employers from paying the 6.2% Social Security payroll tax due in December. The bill also gives employers a $1,000 credit if new workers stay on the job for a full year. The bill will place $20 billion into the Federal Highway Construction Fund in order to help with low gasoline tax revenues as well.
And parents are always warning their kids not to talk to strangers. These days, even on the internet, on places like MySpace and Facebook. But those strangers are being watched by the FBI. Jennifer Musa has the story.
Kids friending on Facebook, making profiles on MySpace, linking into LinkedIn, and tweeting on Twitter. FBI investigators online netting bad guys on social networking sites.
I actually have several different MySpace and Facebook accounts. I have ones I personally use, and I have ones that I use for work.
Special Agent Dan Evans is part of the Cyber Squad, going undercover in the online world with phony profiles.
I've used all different types of names and different pictures, and yeah, I mean, you got to get creative.
A creative and fairly new technique for agents to connect with criminals, detailed in this Department of Justice report.
A lot of times the people we're investigating are posting stuff about themselves on there, so that's a very big tool for us.
Private pictures, videos, notes, and the target's contacts too, all tools in crime fighting.
And surprisingly enough, they'll post stuff on MySpace or Facebook that'll give their exact locations and their contact information.
Agent Evans says most often they're logging on to follow suspects who seek out children.
Because those are people that are specifically looking for kids, so they often go where kids will be, and a lot of times that's going to be social networking sites.
And former executive producer Stephen Miller of the 1980s sitcom Growing Pains is sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. The sentence for the crime is up to 5 years in prison, and an additional 2.5 years was given because of the nature of the pictures and language used in chat rooms. Miller was charged with distribution and possession of child pornography. Authorities say he engaged in sending and receiving child pornography and took part in online chats regarding child abduction, bondage, rapes, and murders.
It's a mad dash for votes on the health care reform bill. President Obama has been twisting arms, and it appears to be working, at least with one House member, Dennis Kucinich, a liberal from Ohio, now says he will vote for the measure.
In the past week, it's become clear that the vote on the final health bill will be very close. I take this vote with the utmost seriousness. I'm quite aware of the historic fight, which has lasted the better part of the last century, to bring America in line with other modern democracies in providing single-payer health care. I've seen the political pressures and the financial pressure being asserted to prevent a minimal recognition of this right, even within the context of a system dominated by private insurance companies. I know I have to make a decision, not on the bill as I would like to see it, but as it is.
The House needs 216 votes to pass the bill, although the Speaker of the House could call for a vote on a rule which would consider the Senate bill to be passed. Just the idea of that move has House Republicans outraged. Though both parties have used tactics before, it has never been used for something as big as the healthcare bill.
And a Mexican tour bus has rolled over in South Texas. The accident occurred on Interstate 37 near Campbellton this morning. The Texas Department of Public Safety says 2 people are dead and at least 18 are injured. Investigators believe an equipment failure may be to blame. The driver says she heard a pop before losing control of the bus. The bus was headed from San Antonio to Mexico. Officials say both Mexican and American citizens were on board.
Well, we didn't get any rainfall today, but we're expecting a chance of rain later in the week towards this weekend, and we'll have more on that coming up in the forecast after the break. As you can tell on the temperatures on the almanac, we stayed above or below average on the high temperature, but a little above average on the low temperature, but nowhere near the records of 24 back in 1960 for the low and 82 back in 1982 for the high. We'll have your full look at your 5-day forecast and more coming up after the break.
Harvey, what's for breakfast?
Guten Tag!
Johannes, Franz!
I bring you arts-enriched Raisinblums, fortified with increased test scores and creative problem-solving skills.
It's good!
And good for you.
Bobby? Susie?
Don't worry, that's just the power of the arts!
Feed your kids the arts. For 10 simple ways to learn how, visit AmericansForTheArts.org.
Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
As we take a look at the surface map, we'll see that we had a little bit of rain over the northwestern part of the state, but not much, if anything, was reaching the ground. And then we'll see the high pressure system is going to build back in, and it's going to bring the high temperatures reaching in the middle 60s for Arkansas and even the lower 70s on Friday before this cold front comes up from the northwest, and that will bring us the chances for rain on Saturday. Your current conditions here at Searcy, 59 degrees, dew point 39, humidity at 47, light winds from the north at 6 miles an hour. Across the state, we see temperatures 44 in Harrison, 43 in Fayetteville, 63 in El Dorado, 55 in Hot Springs, and over towards Memphis, 59. For your evening planner, we expect 50 at 7, midnight 45, and 7 a.m. 40 degrees with mostly cloudy skies throughout the night, and even some fog maybe as you wake up in the morning. So cloudy skies in the morning, patchy fog, north winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and morning commute again, mostly cloudy skies. Again, that fog will be around in the morning, but it'll give way later in the day. And that's where we can expect sunny skies, 63 degrees for your high, with light winds from the northwest, but they will become southwest later in the day, about 5 miles an hour. So we can look at the 5-day forecast, 63 tomorrow, 70 on Friday, which will increase the chances for storms on Saturday, 70% chance on Saturday for your first day of spring. And now we'll go over to Rachel for a look at sports.
Find out everything from Bison baseball results to who President Obama thinks will win the NCAA basketball championship. Coming up in your sports after the break.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
So, do you have any questions?
What is your soup of the day?
We have a mulligatawny soup.
Oh, do you have any specials?
We have a steak special today.
Oh, how's that cooked?
That's pan-seared and then...
Does it come with a side dish? Is it grilled? Can I have it steamed? So, what do you recommend? What kind of pie do you have? You're an actor. Aren't you from Ohio?
Any questions?
Ask questions. For the 10 questions everyone should know, go to ahrq.gov.
Even though the Bisons were swept last weekend, Harding did all the cleaning up yesterday in their non-conference doubleheader. As they took on Williams Baptist, freshman Lucas Waddell pitched a complete game shutout in Game 1, the first of his collegiate career. Waddell struck out 7 without allowing a walk and yielded only 4 hits. Junior Trent Kinnear drove in both runs for Harding. Then in Game 2, the Bisons had some fun at bat. Sophomore Chase Presley went 3 for 3. Paul Anzalone had 2 hits, and John Wagnon drove in 2 with his first double of the season. Final scores: Game 1, Harding 2, Williams Baptist 0. Game 2, Harding 7, Williams Baptist 3. These victories give the Bisons 10 consecutive wins over the Eagles, making Harding 11-2 at home and 12-13 on the season. Harding plays again this Saturday and Sunday in the 3-game Gulf South Conference Series at Ouachita Baptist in Arkadelphia. The Harding women's golf team kicked off the spring season Monday and yesterday at the Lion Invitational in Texas. Freshman Whitney Olhausen was Harding's top finisher, placing 16th as she shot 83 in both rounds to finish at 166. The team had an 11th place finish overall in the 36-hole tournament that took place at Tanglewood Golf Resort and Spa. Harding shot 350 in round 1 and 355 in round 2 for a 705 total. Angelo State won the team competition with 631. The Gulf South Conference announces Harding as second in both the men's and women's standings for the All Sports Trophy. On the men's side, Harding has 25 points, second only to Alabama Huntsville with 27 points. Harding is followed by North Alabama at 24.5, and Arkansas Tech and Valdosta State each have 24. The Lady Bisons have 38 points, trailing only to West Florida at 42.5. Arkansas Tech is third with 33.5, followed by North Alabama at 32 and West Alabama at 30.5. Harding has more combined all-sports points than any other school. I know I've got my March Madness bracket set, and so does the president. Check out who President Obama has in the final 2 of the NCAA basketball tournament.
Final game, we've got Kansas.
So Kansas beating K-State.
And Kentucky.
Okay. That would be a rematch in the coaching department from 2008 when John Calipari was coaching Memphis against Bill Self.
Against Bill Self, and I think, once again, Self wins. That's the game right there. All right? You bet.
Golfer Tiger Woods is set to make his return at the Masters in April, and LeBron has a triple-double to lift his Cavaliers over the Pistons. Find out about it now in your Headline Sports.
With Headline Sports, I'm Rafer Weigel. Tiger Woods says he is coming back to golf, specifically targeting next month's Masters tournament, ending his 4-month break from the game. A 4-time Masters champ, Tiger issued the following statement, quote, "After a long and necessary time away from the game, I feel like I'm ready to start my season at Augusta. Although I'm returning to competition, I still have a lot of work to do in my personal life." Tiger's last win at Augusta National came in 2005. The NCAA's opening game saw Arkansas Pine Bluff defeating Winthrop 61-44. Alan Smith led the way for the Golden Lions with 14 points. Congratulations on winning. You now face number 1 seeded Duke on Friday in Jacksonville. In the NBA, LeBron James recorded his 4th triple-double of the season as he carried the Cavs to a 113-101 win over the Detroit Pistons. King James scored 29 points, ripped down 12 boards, and dished out 12 assists as Cleveland has now won 4 in a row, improving their NBA best record to 53-15. Out west, the Lakers win their 4th game in a row, 106-99 over the Sacramento Kings. Kobe Bryant led the way with 30 points, and Pau Gasol added 28 as the Lakers remain 4 games ahead of Denver for the best record in the Western Conference. And in college football, Ohio State head football coach Jim Tressel received a 2-year contract extension that will keep him in Columbus until 2014. Tressel will make, with incentives, about $3.5 million a year. He's 94-21 in 9 seasons as Ohio State's head man. And that's Headline Sports. I'm Rafer Weigel.
That's all for sports. Now back to Sarah at the news desk.
Thanks, Rachel. A British couple caught kissing in public in Dubai face up to a month in jail in the Gulf Arab Emirate for indecency after a local mother complained that her child had seen their indiscretion. The couple, a British man living in Dubai and a female friend, were arrested in November on accusations of kissing in public and consuming alcohol. They were ordered jailed for a month. The case is the 3rd time in under 2 years in which Britons have hit the headlines by falling foul of indecency laws in Dubai, a flashy Muslim emirate popular with sun-seeking Western tourists and expatriates.
A flying horse, a dog on thin ice, and a Kentucky Wildcats wedding. The latest video and stories that will have you talking are coming up on Take a Look at This.
Take a look at this. This horse, named Colorado, was airlifted to safety Tuesday. He was stranded on a sandbar in Arizona for 5 days after being swept away by the river. Rescue crews reached him by air and got him in a harness so he could be lifted by helicopter.
I'm just completely relieved. All these people did all this work. This is for me. It's my horse.
A vet gave Colorado a clean bill of health. This dog spent the night on some melting ice in Lake Erie. He was spotted Monday night, but a rescue attempt was too dangerous until the next morning. That's when he was reached by helicopter. The rescuer says the dog seemed very happy to see him and started licking his face as soon as he reached him. This bride and groom are the ultimate University of Kentucky fans.
We decided to go with blue, and then we decided to go ahead and go with a Kentucky Wildcat wedding.
The bride's dress was embroidered in blue with a Wildcats emblem. The priest dressed as a referee. Bridesmaids wore Wildcat shirts. The groomsmen dressed as basketball players. Even their cake was topped with a basketball. The groom says he'd always dreamed of a wedding like this, but never thought it would actually happen. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jim Ribble.
Well, that's kind of crazy.
It is. So St. Patrick's Day, see, we're all wearing green except
Sarah. Come on. You're going to get
our
pinched.
anchor.
I could. Oh, and there's that.
Is there anything coming up in sports?
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I made my bracket, and I'm not quite as a Kentucky fan as wanting to have a Kentucky wedding, but I did pick them to win the championship. So
I've been rooting for UNC for years, so there's that.
How about weather? Last little recap.
Well, we're expecting the sunny skies to hang around the next couple days, but then there's that chance of severe storms maybe on Saturday, 70%, and it's also the first day of spring.
Yes.
So it brings with it that chance of storms and then some cold temperatures behind it. So,
well, it's been looking good. Hope it stays around for a while.
I've heard some rumors about some severe weather on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us tonight on Live at 5. For all your local news, sports, and weather, keep it here. Have a great night.